Hey everybody, and welcome back to the board meeting. Um, and welcome to North Dakota, actually. It was supposed to be game night tonight, but it decided to snow here it started yesterday and it's supposed to continue all day today. So, I don't think game night's gonna happen, and sorry for the wind. Yeah, this is just North Dakota. This is what I talk about when I say it's always windy here. Um, but yeah, so I decided, well, I'll just stay home, well, because I have really no choice. I'm all snowed in my car. So, yeah, I'm just going to stay home, play some solitaire games, have a good day, put some coffee on, and we'll see where it goes. I don't even know which games I'm going to play, but you'll find out here soon. So, I'll see you on the table. So, the first game I decided to play today was Bandido. Bandido is this small little solitaire card game. I guess you can play multiplayer, cooperative, but I really like it as a solo game. A very, very simple game where you just have this Bandido. The center card is this Bandido digging away, trying to escape. And your goal is to lay these cards out, trying to block off all of his exits. And if you do that, you win the game. Or if you can't lay any more cards, or he if there's too many escape routes, he ends up winning. This is a game I played. The first game I played, I put it on easy mode, and as you can see, it was going very, very well. I only played it was something like 10 cards, and I ended up winning the game. So I decided I was going to play a second game. Didn't intend to play a second game, but it went so fast. I was like, "Oh, let's shuffle up and do it again." But I flipped it onto the harder side, where the Bandito, he's got more escape routes to begin with, and you have to block off more. And this game was going decent. I wasn't really too sure how it was going. Really, I had some areas I felt like I had under control, but then I wasn't getting some of the card draws that I needed to block off certain areas. And in this game, if you don't block his escape routes out off pretty fast, they get out of control. The one escape route turns into three escape routes. That three turns into five, and soon it's out of control. And this is a tiny little game. It comes in this little tiny box, but I play on a 3 foot by 4 foot table, and as you can see, uh, if you're it gets out of control pretty fast. There, it got off camera, so sorry that you can't see some of it onto the left side of this. But yeah, I was trying to capture it all, but it expands so much that sometimes even on this 3 foot by 4 foot table, I can't. It ends up going off the table even because it extends so far. Because it's just random how far it ends up going. You try to build in a certain way, but it just doesn't work out sometimes. And so yeah, it kept extending, it kept extending. So the second game wasn't going as planned for myself. It wasn't going as good as I would want it to. And he just kept getting away, and I ended up giving up. I was like, I only had like 4 cards left, and he had like 12 escape routes. So it wasn't going good. So I won the first game on easy, then I tried on harder. Didn't go as well for that, but 1 for 2 isn't so bad for with Bandito. So for my second game of the day, I decided to break out the Lost Expedition, which is one of my all-time favorite solo card games. It's a wonderful game, and I set it up, and this is a game all about mitigating your loss. There's bad things that are constantly happening, but you're trying to mitigate it as best you can while moving along and reaching the lost city of Z. So if you can move one or two times each phase, you're doing pretty decent. But you only have those 3 characters, and each character has 3 health. And you're going to be losing health along the way. You're going to be using these resources, your food, your ammunition. And in this game, the first morning, it went pretty well. I ended up moving, I think, one spot. And if you can move one spot each time without using a lot of resources, without taking much damage, you're doing decent. And so the second, there's morning and then there's night. And during the night, I didn't move at all, I don't think, during the night phase for the first day. But what I did do is I used a lot of my ammunition to get more food, and you're gonna use the food. And in this game, I got a lot of food. But the bad thing about it is I was using up my bullets pretty fast, faster than maybe I would want to. But I was getting compensated with food. I think I shot an alligator that day. I can't remember what. Um, but then I went on to the second day, the morning of the second day. And the second day, the start of the second day was amazing. I was basically sprinting across the map, trying to reach the lost city of Z. I think I moved something like 3 spots in that one day, which is unbelievable. It's great if you can do that. And I did take a little bit of damage, but not anything crazy. And it was after this phase that I thought maybe I can win, and I don't win this game very often. Let me tell you that. I've played it a bunch. Very seldom do I win. And during the night of day 2, I think I underestimated the jungle. I got a little cocky because one of my explorers, they had 2 health left, and boom, boom, they're dead, like instantly, like kind of out of nowhere. But even then, I moved a couple spaces that night as well, which I thank her for her sacrifice. But we need to keep going. We need to keep pushing through that jungle. So then we went on to the third day, the morning of the third day, and I was only 2 spots away from the lost city of Z, and I was anticipating. I was excited, but I knew my both my explorers that were left didn't have a lot of health left. So I had to play these cards right, and I had to get lucky. In this game, you're not going to win if you don't get lucky. And I did get a couple cards out that were going to allow me to move, but I just had to survive. And so I ended up getting the right cards, moved once, and then I got to move the second one onto the Lost City of Z, but I had to sacrifice one of my people first. So it was between Inez and Bessie. I think her name is Bessie. But I decided Bessie needed to get a win. So I sacrificed Inez and let Bessie get to the Lost City of Z, limping across the finish line with only 1 health left. This is as close as you can get to winning or losing the game. But I got a win, and that doesn't happen very often. So I'm very excited I have this recording so I can prove to people, hey, I have beat the Lost Expedition before. Here is proof. But anyways, yeah, that's that game. Let's move on to our next game. So for my third game, I decided to pull out a game I hadn't played the physical copy of in years. Ganz, Schon, Clever. Ganz, Schon, Clever is this roll and write game that relies very heavily on comboing one thing after another, making yourself feel clever when you're playing this game. You're going to be rolling these dice, choosing one of those colored dice, and filling out that color's section. And hopefully you're making it along these paths, marking off the sheets, getting extra combos to go. You know, you mark off here, then you go mark off here, which will let you mark off here. It's supposed to be doing that. In this game, this particular game, it was not working out too well for me. It was an atrocious attempt at playing this game for myself. The dice were not falling for me, and I'm sure I was not picking the best dice at the best time. I was not playing this game efficiently today. And what's funny about this is I played a warm-up game of this before I played it on camera because I hadn't played the physical game for such a long time, and I couldn't remember if there was a big difference between the solo and the multiplayer. There's basically none, except for this little extra roll at the end that you do a passive roll for and take one of the lower dice for that. And so I played a practice game of that, which I did amazing on. I play this game all the time on my app. It's a great game for your app. If you haven't tried out Ganz and Clever on your app, try that. In that particular game, I did was one of my best games. I got in the high 200s. It was like 290 or something like that. And anything, I try to get over 200 every game. Like 200 is like average game. So I got in the high 200s. I almost reached 300, which I've only done a couple times in this game. But yeah, it was one of my best games. I wish I would have gotten that one on camera, but instead we got this one. And in this one, yeah, like I said, the dice just were not falling. I was not doing well at all comboing these dice together. But I mean, that just happens sometimes. And I had a double fail in this game. At the end, when I counted everything up on the sheet, I write 182. It is not even 182. And mind you, 182 is not a good score in this game. Like I said, 200 is probably like about average. 182 is not good. In fact, it's supposed to be 172, so I did even worse than what I thought I did initially. Just so I failed at this game physically, and then I failed at this game mathematically, which is it's just atrocious, like I said. Yeah, but still a great roll and write game. I'm glad I broke this out. Like I said, I play this on the app all the time, and I haven't played the physical copy of it in a while. And I've been debating getting rid of it just because I just play it on the app. But I can't pull myself to getting rid of it because I like it so much. Out of like the simple roll and write games, this is one of my favorites for them. But yeah, let's keep moving. I don't even know which game I'm gonna play next, but I'll find something on my shelf that I want to play. So I decided to play Legendary Encounters, an alien deck building game, or whatever super long name they give this game. And this is a deck building game, obviously. And in the original base box, it has 4 different scenarios, and they play out as the movies Aliens. Aliens 1, Aliens 2, 3, and 4, and then there's some expansions. In this particular one, I am playing the third scenario, so Aliens 3. Uh, and this is one of the most thematic games I can think of, really. I feel like I'm fighting aliens in these games. I love this system, and it just feels very thematic to me. And for this, I was playing two-handed. I don't know if you can play single-handed in this one. Well, but I played two-handed, and I was playing as the scout and the mercenary. The scout was really good at scanning those rooms up there while the aliens are coming across, and the mercenary is really good at fighting. And it ended up being a really good combination in this game. So aliens were coming across, I was scanning them up there. The mercenary was hitting them down, killing them before they could become too much of a threat to me. The worst part about this game is that setup. This is such a long setup, and I have the box really organized to where you can almost just pull it out and play it. But even that takes it takes 10 to 15 minutes for me to set it up with how organized it is. So if you don't have this box organized, I don't know how you would do it. Um, but yeah, it gets a little bit of a ding for me for the setup time, but I think the setup time is worth it. The game is so good to me, and but this particular game, I'd never played the third scenario in this, so this was brand new to me. And I don't look at the cards beforehand because I like getting surprised. It feels like I said, thematic, I guess. Getting surprised by these different types of aliens. All these aliens have different special abilities. They'll maneuver a little bit differently. They'll attack. Some of them will do different special effects while they're attacking, things like that. And I like being surprised by this game. This game was going almost too well for me, though. This is not an easy game most of the time to win, but this game, it really felt like I got my engine going really fast with my deck building for both the characters I was playing as, and it just worked really well where I didn't really feel too threatened ever. And a couple times when I did get hit, I got hit for little ones, or else they missed me completely, which it's just a luck of the draw for those when they're attacking you, what kind of damage they're going to do. So I got very lucky in that aspect. And so I got done with the first objective, got done with the second objective, and I was pretty confident at that point because both my characters were almost at full health. They had like 2 damage done to each of them out of like the 10 or 11 that they could take. So I wasn't too worried, like at all, for playing this. And then in the end, I had to kill what was known as the Beast. And then the Beast ended up showing up, and you have to basically defeat him 3 times. This Beast, this big, tanky alien. And I beat him once with I think it was the scout who took him out, or maybe it was the mercenary that took him out once. And then the next go around, the mercenary got a ton of attack, which was like, he got like 15 or 16 attack in one go, which is an enormous amount. And I just took him out twice then to finish him off, and I won the game. And yeah, it wasn't too difficult for this being it's a difficult game. Really went very swimmingly for me for this particular session of Aliens. But yeah, I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna check the weather, see what it's looking like out there, because it's been a minute since I've been out there. So let's go outside. So So it turns out it's pretty windy still, and we've got quite a lot of snow. Snow is pretty much about 3 feet deep over in here and onto the streets. So I've got a lot of shoveling to do. So I'm probably going to call it a day for gaming, at least on camera, and try to do some shoveling, shovel myself out to the street, because I got to go to work tomorrow still. Maybe, if I can make it. But yeah, it's all windy still. But thanks for watching, and if you did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe to see more weekly content from me, Shane, at the board meeting in the future. Hope you all have an amazing day. Take care, everyone.